Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day to everybody wherever it is in the world you're coming to us from. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of DYOR Live. It's October 17th, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. One day closer to Christmas, one day closer to the sun going supernova, and one day closer to my birthday. It's always one day closer to my birthday. I guess technically it's always a day closer to Christmas too, or the sun going supernova. Anyway, and as you might suspect, the screen next to me is blank right now. What does that mean? It means Pedro Garcia is not in the house yet. He will be with us shortly. But thanks to everyone that's joining us. Jerry Molinari is our inaugural commentee and commentor. Thanks for joining us, Jerry. You're the first one on the show today. Yesterday, people didn't do a very good job letting me know that my mic sucked. And I spoke of speaking like this. If I have a different volume than Pedro, please someone let us know. Let us know, and let me know if this volume is okay. It should have that deep, rich podcast sound that a professional doctor on a soap opera would talk like. Crypto Mike, welcome to the house. Thanks for joining us. Crypto Mike, that Revo thing is an interesting thing. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. As Revo doesn't make money from the rides. Well, they make a little bit of a commission on it. But they make money from running the Revo network, node network. And so the driver gets almost all of the money. It's really interesting. And their drivers are owners and they can build their own customer base. It's really interesting. I signed up for an account to, first of all, to be a rider. It's not available in Chicago yet. And I think I'm going to become a node runner just to test it out and see if I can generate rewards, which I can then use for free rides. How about that? And I do happen to have extra servers sitting around at home doing nothing. So I can do that fairly easily without having to pay a node account. Let's get some little background music going here. Not that one. Let's get the old yeah going. Till I get a new machine, I'm not running the sound effects. It's just too much. Jerry, thanks for letting me know. The mic level is good. I appreciate it. I'm going to spend a minute here getting the word out, and then we're going to talk about Mr. Trump's World Liberty Coin. Yesterday we talked about Kamala Harris and her hating on crypto. And so today, give everyone fair time. Should have some new viewers coming in soon. GINU? Is that a hard G, a soft G? What is it? Anyway, but let me post a couple of things. Oh, there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got Pedro Garcia on my monitor here. He will be joining us shortly. Because he was a little bit late, I did not check his official Pedro cam, so I got to do that real quick here. Pedro cam is the wrong one. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It needs to be. Sorry, while I switch over to Pedro cam here real quick. Oh, come on, it's just not working right. Come on. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be with you. Oh yes, we have been live. Hey, your mic's not on though, Pedro. Here, let me get your mic on here.
And just
ladies and gentlemen, over to my right-hand side here, Mr. Pedro Garcia. Pedro, what's happening?
What is up? I apologize that it is blank there. I had a full morning. I don't know if anybody's ever had such a full morning where you just time just flies and you're like, how did it get to that time? So forgive me for my
You're forgiven.
My lateness. A thousand pardons. Do not beat me. Here we go. So it was really interesting. What are we talking about right now?
I just started, and I was just getting ready to do a little social media. So why don't you tell all of our free viewers what they need to do?
Yeah, please, guys, if you guys will do us a quick favor, and please hit that like, subscribe, and share button to your preferred social media platform. Whether that is the Zuckerberg, where you like to like and be able to do all the same things that our friend, as well as contributor as well, because he's come on the show a couple times, Mr. Musk. If you like to go through, and obviously that's a joke to our many viewers out there, but if you like to perform and share on the Musk, Elon's, that's really hard for me to say it right now. I can't understand.
Well, since that we get a lot of viewers from there, you might as well just say it.
Yeah, the X platform there. Many of you guys know. I'm actually impressed because yesterday, how many did we have? We had like 45, 50. I mean, you talk about growing, right? Like it's starting to grow, dude. I'm like, all y'all out there right now, shout out, all y'all. Hey, all of you. I guess it's all of you or you all. You all.
There's no such word as you all or all y'all.
Yes, there is, dude. I'm telling you now, it's in the Merriam. I used to hear that, but it's now in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. It's used so much in the vernacular of the South.
Vernacular words from the South don't count.
But
that's why it's in the South.
But
we're not.
Regardless of it, it is still in Merriam-Webster dictionary. You can look it up right now. Okay.
So is butthole, and we don't use that word.
It is used. And there are many times when you do call somebody a B-U-T-T-H-O. I can't even spell hole right, so whatever. I'm not even pretend like I can. Special ed right here, special ed.
All y'all.
California educational system right here, baby. Central Valley. What? Anyways.
This is my co-host, ladies and gentlemen.
Jumping back to all of y'all over on X, we want to thank you so much. Also, if you guys will share there, hit the like button, comment about my commentary here as I obfuscate what Tom is talking about, and make really no sense of what I'm saying, except for please hit the like, share, and sub, and share to other platforms out there, which would help us immensely. Today, we all know we're talking politics, and you all know that the great old algorithm on YouTube is going to shut us down. Like a bomb, just send us down to wherever it's going to send us. So we need your help to hit that like, sub, and share button because that helps us immensely. Anyhow, okay. So talk to me, Goose. How you doing? That was quite a bit of.
All right, I got all of the social media. Not all of it. I didn't do a good job of it today. I'm just running out of good TG rooms. I used to be a member of a lot of good projects that I'd drop this in, and the people would show up and get reminded to come here. Yeah. And then, as usual, all those projects fade out, and the people stop paying attention to those rooms. So I need some new Telegram rooms, like lounges and stuff like that are open to posting good show schedules. So if any of you got any ideas for show schedules and stuff like that, let me know where I can post them. Because I'd be happy to drop them in to someone else's room. Now, obviously, they'll say, "Oh, Whale Talk's a good place," or Rude's Lounge, or something like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just good places that people hang out, like Crypto Mike's new room. If you haven't been to Crypto Mike's room, casual
shout
crypto.
Out, yeah. Nice.
And of course, the Athenian crew shows up here. Only up. Thanks for joining us on the show here today. What's up? Hope everyone's having a great day. Infineon, only up. Chuck Jansen in the house. Dr. J says, just playing in the background for now. I'm still mining fiat. Can't wait to learn more about Cheeto Cash. I mean, World Liberty Coin.
Cheater
We're going to talk
cash.
about the Bitcoin first here in Pedro's usual opening spot, and then I'll go right into probably a 5 to 10 minute talk about World Liberty Coin and the basics of it, and then we can have our whatever discussion that we want, and of course review any projects you guys want us to look at. Lots of stuff going on in the market today, as usual. Crypto, as we know, BTC did the super pump, and everyone thought it was immediately going to $300,000, and then amazingly it didn't. But it's showing some fun stuff going on here, along with the altcoins and all that shit. So let's just get right into it, Pedro. And
let's get into it.
What's going on with the B and the T?
What's going
and the
on? So it's very interesting looking at Mr. Beast here, aka Taylor Swift, Swifties, and Shiba Inu, hitting the algorithms there for us. Sorry. The idea is that I talked about this yesterday. I just have a hard time getting, I guess with the inflow that we have seen some volume step in here, okay, which has been nice, like some green volume in the last few days, real volume, right? And they're accumulating, but I just have, like I've talked to you guys, I just have a hard time. I think this is a false rally because we talked about this again. I hope I'm wrong, and here's the thing: we're going to go long down when it comes back and retraces into some areas here that are really important. I think that we need to consider, right, that we might be in the real bull run. Okay, like definitely, like we could be consolidating in this period. We talked about this months ago, and I've periodically jumped back to the election cycle. And if Trump wins, we should see a rally that we'll never see again, right? In crypto. So we're preparing for that. Like I've talked about dollar cost averaging, putting in, $50 a week, $25 a week. Right now is potentially worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in 20-30 years, right? It's like looking and buying Tesla.
Can you imagine that for people that are the early adopters in the crypto industry?
Oh yeah.
I don't mean the OGs that have always had tons of money in Bitcoin. Yeah. I mean just people that told their dad or something, look, buy $10,000 for the Bitcoin and forget it. Put it away. And then someday it does become a world standard and it's worth like $1 trillion. And there's only 21, I understand there's 21 million Bitcoins. And right now there's like, I don't know what they say, 1 million wallets that hold at least one coin or something like that.
Yeah.
And the rest hold much less. Less. I don't know. It's like, zip it. Austin, Paris, zip it.
Zip it.
And 50 years from now, all of a sudden kids are going through dad's assets.
Yeah.
And they realize, they're like, oh my God, dad's 10,000 is worth, 200 million.
Oh no, it would be much more than that.
Something crazy, or just whatever, just it's life changing. Just life-changing thing, and you're one of the few people in the world. Of then the population in 50 years, the world will be like 16 billion people, and you'll be one of the people that owns an entire Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's one of those things, or even a quarter of a Bitcoin.
I'd be splitting that Bitcoin up into 1,000 wallets.
Well, here's the thing: is you're going to be able to take loans on it. I mean, talking about Trump stuff, we'll go into that later, but it's the idea of it's a real hard asset that the rich don't like. This is really important to understand. The rich don't spend their own money. They take loans against their own money so that they don't have to pay taxes, right? That's what they do. And then they pay back that money, and it gets they keep more of their cash. And so the idea behind it is you don't sell, you just take loans against the hard cash of Bitcoin. And it would just, and we saw that in the last bull run. One of the biggest things that funneled and funded the bull run of last of last bull run was the idea that like people took loans against what they had. I mean, I think who was the one company that was the first ones to fall in the Celsius? Yeah, they took out, what was it? How much? I think it was like 500 crazy $1 million of a loan against their Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin, right?
It was the infinite money machine.
Yeah.
Until it stopped.
Yeah. And so I saw that and I said, that reminds me. And again, I was new to crypto, but I said that reminds me of when the banks were taking out loans against other banks.
Ken Griffin is in the house. Thanks Ken for joining us. Ken is the chairman of Citadel Hedge Fund. Oh, yeah. Somehow I don't think it's the same Ken Griffin.
Hey man, we would love to have you, Ken. If you really are, bro, dope. Glad to have you. You would rock the mic.
Short Bitcoin.
Listen, here's the thing, and I'll bring this up, right? Like I've talked about the market dropping here. Like
Well, before we get to the deep talk, we're supposed to be talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah, let's talk about Bitcoin here because this is real important. All right, so
Pedro Mind knows no end.
Yeah, let's jump in here real quick.
While Pedro's while my screen's switching back to Pedro's, the GINU people, GINU, what is it? Is it a hard G? Is it a soft G? They're joining us here. Jason533 is joining us from GINU, China. You'll love the full name of GINU. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, this one. Just can't wait. Let us know what it is. But they're going to be rating the chat today, Pedro. So if someone's going to send us a contract address, please get it to my attention.
Okay, excellent. I will check it out. Most stuff, man. It's, Ken Griffin.
Right now, Pedro, what's going on with Bitcoin?
Let's check out Bitcoin. Every time I hear Ken Griffin, I think of Ken Griffin Jr., the baseball player.
That's Griffey.
Griffey. Oh, you are right. Ken Griffey. You are right.
My sister used to keep score for the baseball team at Cincinnati Princeton High School.
Yeah.
And Ken Griffey Jr. went to Cincinnati Moeller.
Oh, wow.
And so whenever he would, and those teams were arch rivals, and every time they would play, my sister would keep the baseball score for Ken Griffey. And to this day, she still has some of the sheets that which she took for when Griffey was a high school player, in which my sister recounts all he did was hit the ball over the fence. She said I could just start coloring it in as a home run before.
He even got it. Dude, if she could get those signed by him, they would be worth millions. He should. I mean, legitimately.
You're probably right.
I would go there and be like, listen, this is your actual stuff that you actually got. I was the one who took it. You can go check the stats.
I'll ask her if she still has them.
And if
Ken Griffin says I live 15 minutes from there. I used to live in Cincinnati. I used to live in Glendale and in Wyoming.
Yeah, it's a good area. I
used to work in Fairfield. And if you're familiar with that area, I used to build armored vehicles in Fairfield, so you probably have heard of that company that used to be up there. In Westchester, yep. Yeah, I know Westchester very well. Westchester is one of those little suburbs that's got one of those small little downtowns of like 4 stores for like 300 years. And then all of a sudden it's suburbs hell. Like gas station in you, Alpha Wolf says. Alpha Wolf, the hardest working man in crypto. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
What is up, brother? It's good to have you,
man. The home of the red and blue.
The red and blue.
Well, he's typed Bonner, but I have a feeling it's a different word.
Where is your mind at, Thomas?
Thanks, Alpha Wolf. Send me the contract address. I'll get it over to Pedro when the time is right. All right, let's get through this. Before we talk about world, we're going to get a good crowd here from GINU. I want to get the Bitcoin and then the World Liberty stuff out of the way.
Absolutely. All right, so guys, this is what I'm looking at. Now, we're seeing an increase in volume, right? But I said we need to see this candle right here in particular to close above today with a great amount of volume. We really didn't see that. We could see a consolidation within Bitcoin and then see it push up, which would be something that I would like to see if we could, right? Like if it could be consolidating at these areas, or a drop down to the 8 SMA. So this is what I'm looking at more than anything in relationship to the market. Now, more importantly, right, if we do start to see a sell-off here, again, I'm going to give you guys, I normally will give you directional moves in the market, but because we're at this point here, and last time, you know, it was similar to here, there were certain sell-off points in this area. I don't want you guys to get caught up in a, like, which way do I go? But I do want you guys to be cautious here because we don't really know. Again, we're seeing increase in volume, but yesterday we should have had more volume and we didn't. And so in that same sense, because of that, it did throw everything off, how we would look at the markets. So now for me, I need to see something of this nature where either we see a sell-off and we come back and test the 8, just make me go, okay, we want to push up. That would be the 8-period moving average, and that's sitting at 64,692.4 on the BTC USD, and I want to see support come in. Right, this area is kind of a critical point. Actually, this whole entire area between that 67,000 ish area to that 70,000, because 70,000, and this is the other part they can do. Right, this, if I see them come up and get above this previous high here, but by one tick or like by one point of a point, so it's not like, you know, 67,420, but I want to see it, if it goes up 67,420, this is just fictitious numbers, 0.1, that's a huge indication of them stopping a bunch of people out and about to turn it around. And if we see that day where it does that, which would be around here, which would be that 61,000 area, it would be an indication for me to sit there and say, yeah, this baby's about to drop. So that's like, that'd be the 71,162, and it goes to 70,162.1. That would them saying, yeah, we just stopped everybody out. We got all those backside connections, and now we're about to drop it even more. And so in that same sense, that's where, so this is why I'm saying it's a very tough situation of where we're sitting in right now. So from a trader standpoint, like realistically, I would not trade Bitcoin. I would have already hedged my buys in this area right here, like right at this level. We would have started going long once it crossed the 8 and 20 here. Right now, you know, now that I'm looking to go long, but this is where I need to sit there and see what's going to happen for the long term. I need to see if that 50 and that 89, is the 50 going to get above that 89. That's my biggest keys. I'm waiting to see what's happening here, because if this crosses here and I start having real volume step in, that changes the whole entire dimension of which direction Bitcoin is going to move. So that's why I'm like, it's a little hard right here. So I apologize not giving you guys full direction, but this is just as a trader, I don't. These areas are difficult. So
all right, where's our buy? We're gonna let it come down, assuming it comes down. If it comes down, where's the buy zone?
What's the buy area would be somewhere around here. Boom. Here we go. I'm gonna move these here. This was a short that we'd taken and we were looking to take up in here. But we got stopped out there. It would be around the range of or 8 o'clock. So it did come in and tap it. So it's this 8. New York. I need to find 11.
Ken, I'll get to your question in just a minute, if I don't remind me, but we're definitely going to talk about that today.
I need to find the 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, boom. All right, this is where we're looking.
Hey, Alpha Wolf, he says the GINU guys zapped you. Is that referring to Noster and Iris and Satoshi's? Is that what that's referring to? Or are you getting zapped in another context? Ken Griffin asked, well, I said we're going to talk about this probably extensively here in the second half of the show. Do you realistically expect the U.S. election to have a huge impact here?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I do. I think that the Bitcoin market price will be hugely volatile around the election? Yes, because of that, unless a clear winner is coming out. But Bitcoin tends to price everything in. We kind of all know that now. And it gets it figured out. So long term, it's going to depend on innovation. And innovation, if driven out of the States, is going to go somewhere else and will innovate and drive Bitcoin. And because trading Bitcoin is perfectly legal, and unless they come out and just try and ban it, which would cause another overrun of the Capitol building, they can't put a lid on it. So Bitcoin's going to keep going what it's doing. As far as other projects, other uses of crypto on top of a blockchain for use in business, we're going to see, because like a good example is the Crypto Swamp Creatures, our podcast, had the founder of Revo Rideshare, which is starting to revolutionize rideshare, because they're actually paying the drivers a lot of money and taking almost no money for themselves.
I'm actually going to start doing it, bro. Just so I can pick up, because that's money, dude. Like, I think that's going to be a huge amount.
Right. And in the Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris world, that type of innovation is not going to be easy to do, because they're going to rule that their governance token is a security. You know, they're going to rule that the people that are using their rewards tokens are trading securities illegally and things like that, and make things difficult. So all that innovation goes offshore. However, if Mr. Trump gets in office,
he's already
all of all that stuff is going to be just, they're like, nope, it's all legal. None of this crap is securities. That type of stuff. So that's what I feel the difference is.
Well, I think this
the
is
basic
really
difference in the two political parties is one party, keep the herd on, and the other party, let's innovate. And it's weird. It's weird that is a political division. That shouldn't be a political division. That should be a united thing. You know, and united we stand. Oh, let's see. I'm missing some things. Aloha Mike was put in timeout for that, and now has to make an original track about it. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, do a quick sound check. Are Pedro and I's volumes the same to you? Because in my monitor here, studio monitor, I have a separate system, so I can't tell. And yesterday I blew it, and my voice was like this all day. And wow. Pedro's was the booming voice.
I hear it sound perfect on my end.
Yeah, I know.
So right now, even listening to you right now, you sound decent. So guys, just let us know so it doesn't sound all like as if Tom is whispering sweet nothing in my ears and I'm just out here hollering at it.
All right, Pedro.
Let's finish up with Bitcoin.
Yeah, let's finish up. Tell us where we're going to buy Bitcoin.
So if we are looking, we're looking to buy in this area where the 8-period moving average is coming down. We want to see it sell off into this area, and then see
we can't see those numbers. What area is that?
So that's going to be 65,225 to the 64,828, and this is again BTC USD. If you put on your 8-period moving average, you will see that the 8 simple period moving average is sitting around this level here. At that 64,707.6 area. So this is where I'm looking to be getting long after we do come back down in this general area. Simply because this is where it would typically come down, where we would see buyers step in, and then we would see it continue up. So that's where I am finding myself looking at this going, okay, I don't know if it's going to come back down to there, so it's just real interesting to see.
Nice one, Alpha Wolf. That's a nice passive shill there. Appreciate it. That's good. Just works them right into every conversation. Don't forget, AI Alpha Wolf here, one of our loyal viewers here, and as I call the hardest working man in crypto, has a number of projects he's either on the team with or looking out for, otherwise known as shilling. But most likely invested in. Go see him for that list of projects. and get the alpha directly from him on those. Ethereum, X Clan, Dr. Futoki, which if you go see that chart is nothing but up, just straight up. It's up 10x right now, something like that. But that's up to you to go see Mr. Alpha about that.
Absolutely. Shout out to the 10 people who are viewing us. Appreciate you guys. If you guys could make a couple noises out there, I know that I just posted some stuff, so we'll see.
Thank you to everybody on Rumble that's watching us. Our Rumble viewership has been going up, mostly because I believe that the little bit of political content we provide goes big on Rumble, which is mostly politics. But thank you to everyone over there. The viewership comes and goes over there, but when you're there, please drop a comment. We really appreciate it. And of course, thanks to everyone on X for doing your thing and watching. And always remember, on X is a much better platform than it used to be, especially for streaming, but it's not quite there yet. You have to click too many times to get through to the broadcast screen. The broadcast screen on X is just like YouTube's, has a comment section over on the right-hand side, but you don't know that unless you click all the way through to it. So welcome everyone that's tuned in via X.
Yes, absolutely. Now, shouting out to this idea that Bitcoin could go to the moon here. It very much could. It's definitely looking like Trump is going to win. He's really far ahead in relationship to the polls, at least as of right now, that he very much could win. But I mean, we very much could have a Donald Trump upset where Kamala takes up, right? Like Donald Trump was such a upstart, right? That it was just shocking. You talk about a underdog, right? That came out, and we don't know what could happen. I think
you're right. You're absolutely right. You don't know. Everyone thought that Miss Clinton was going to win.
Absolutely.
Before Mr. Trump took up. That was an amazing night watching her room of entitled people who just thought that, I'm not going to get into that, but they were very entitled people, and they just assumed they were winning, and the world was going to be changed in their way, which was not a good way. And then when they got the word that she was going to concede, they all started crying.
Yeah, it was real, dude. And we're talking, it was like a major. I mean, people literally went out and were depressed. I had friends of mine who I said, dude, the world's going to be okay. I may not like him, but the truth is it's going to be okay. You know, I actually had friends of mine literally posted where the stock market was at, what the employment was at, and all this stuff. And I said to him, I'm not pro-Trump, but I'm going to follow these statistics. And people are like, shut up, you don't. Like, they were so upset. And then I remember I posted, even after COVID, he was still up. Like, when you look at everything that was happening, as you know, I was looking at it going like, actually, he was okay. He did okay. So I just thought it was really interesting when you look at the statistics and we're seeing what's actually happening. I it wasn't the end of the world, right? And in the same sense, if Kamala Harris gets in office, it's not going to be the end of the world. Like, America will still strive. We are still, ultimately, if she really is going to start screwing up America, as a lot of people think she will, the truth is Americans will sooner or later go, F that. Like, we're done.
Well, it will show itself in the midterm elections in 2 years. Yeah. And if Kamala does win, and starts doing a poor job, she'll get hammered, just like Bill Clinton did and Barack Obama did. Both of them came into office, very big winnings. Clinton his first term was like, I'm going to change everything. Then Barack comes in, I'm going to change everything. And and both of them in the midterm elections 2 years later just got their asses handed to them and couldn't do really anything the rest of their term.
They were lame.
Screw things up.
Yeah. So I think those are really important things. That's why we have the American judicial system, as well as the political structure that we have, that our legislation structure that we have. It just allows us to, there's checks and balances. You can only go so far until you're just voting out saying, nope, dude, you're done. Like, we're done with you. So it's going to be really interesting as we move forward. And like, again, I'm not worried. If Kamala Harris gets involved, I don't think they'll allow. I see that, Tom. Okay.
No rush on that. Just we'll get to it after World. AI Wolf, I got your message. Thank you.
So I'm not worried, but I do think that if Donald Trump does get into office, that we are going to see an explosion in crypto. It's going to make. I think we'll have
stop the flight to Dubai. I mean,
dude,
not the
everything.
flight.
Yes.
I mean, but the people.
The technology, the skill sets, the real ability, the fact that he even just talks about how protecting your right for self-governance is just those statements that will. I think he will win that because he's got a decent setup already in Congress. So if he steps in, even the Democrats, you have your far right, but you're seeing the centralists starting to come back together, and you're seeing the loss of power with wokeism and even far right extreme and I use extreme right and left, alt people, right? Like you saw that video of the guys who were.
Hey, you're starting to rug on us here, Pedro.
Oh, what's up?
I can see your connection strength, and it just went to hell.
Oh, I understand why. Okay.
Something else is calling. I'm gonna do a little sponsors thing right now, Pedro. So I'm gonna put you on mute. Ladies and gentlemen, right before we get into talking about World Liberty, what it is, a lot of you know what it is, obviously, but kind of the origins of it and what's going on with it. We're going to talk just a quick second about our sponsors. Right below me here is a QR code for BidFi. One of the things that helps us go along is the small, tiny little commissions we get from BidFi trading commissions or fees. And if you're looking for a central exchange that has no KYC, is very liquid, it has no KYC at typical levels. If you put in shit tons of money, there's KYC. And good customer service. I've met the owners of the project on camera here. They've sponsored us for, actually, they've given us their money to sponsor us at the Blockchain Futurist Convention in Toronto. So they're a legit group, a legit organization, and a great exchange. So if you're looking for something to trade along with us when Pedro says it's time to go short here, you can't do that in regular DeFi easily or with much liquidity. Join us on our BidFi thing here, and it helps the channel a lot. If you open up a new account, they give you 100 USDT to trade, and if you make profits on it, you can take the money out. Link in the body here for that, and you obviously have to use the referral link. Also down there, as I said the other day, we have had the CEO and founder of Revo Rideshare on our podcast, The Crypto Swamp Creatures, and Chris and Justin interviewed him all about using blockchain to be a disruptor of Uber. Uber and Lyft, they're trying to put out a business. And we have a referral link to join that program. If you join that program, the whole thing is like anything else. They're trying to bootstrap themselves up. So they're relying on multi-level marketing, much like the exchanges do right here, to get that initial word out, to get them to that threshold where they can go nationwide. So click a link in the body here. For Revo, it's in the first paragraph or so. Sign up for it, then see if it's available in your city. It will be soon. You can literally run a node for them and earn rewards and get free rides. It's an amazing thing. But anyway, that's my sponsor talk today. As we get closer to the end of the year, we'll start talking more about Camuso CPA. Get your taxes done for crypto. And hopefully we'll be talking more about audit chains soon as well. And I just realized I missed their meeting today. Crap. Anyway, Pedro, there's this guy out there named Donald something. Donald, yeah, something like that. something like that. And he has this thing called World Liberty Coin. World Liberty Coin. But what is World Liberty Coin? Let me tell you a little bit about it here so that you can get an understanding of what it is. And I put together a little synopsis of it here. World Liberty Coin represents a venture into cryptocurrency by the Trump family, with Donald Trump taking the role of chief crypto advocate. After watching a number of shows of the right-wing news channels on Rumble, trying to get an idea of what's going on over there, you can't believe the amount of stuff that he's selling and marketing. It's unbelievable. He's on knives. He's on cowboy boots. He's on sneakers. He's on a whole bunch of stuff. Yes, they are. I was going to say World Liberty Financial is a decentralized finance DeFi initiative centered around the crypto token named WLFI. The project aims to engage in activities like borrowing, lending, and other DeFi applications, positioning itself as a governance token for its platform. Which that means that the token that just launched recently is a governance token, which means if you buy it and try and invest in it, that they're going to just sell it out from under you and take all your money and say it's just meant to be used for voting, not an investment. But what really is going on here? Pedro, earlier in the show here, you mentioned Celsius and how it wasn't working out because basically a scammer was running it and mixing personal money with clients' money and lending it out with really no lending experience, just hoping that the market go up, solve all problems. Then when the market stopped going up, all the problems, as you know, exploded. FTX exploded, and the whole thing came crumbling down. But all the new ones coming out, are a lot more regulated now. In fact, this one in the token is actually regulated, and there's a filing with the SEC for it. That doesn't mean it has a whole SEC filing and been approved by the SEC. You can trade securities without the SEC's filing, without getting their approval and their stamp of it, if you do what's called a Part D filing. And the Part D filing means you're doing a small, limited sale to only either accredited investors, a private investor group, or under to the public, but under 2,000 people or something like that. And they're doing it on this concept that it's a private investor group at this point to see where, in my opinion, how much money they can suck out of everybody. They won't need to go for the full SEC filings. But so they are completely. It's hard to say this in the same phrase as using the word Donald Trump. They are completely legitimate. In the United States, fully legal to be traded and invested in. You just have to be an accredited investor. An accredited investor is defined generally by the brokerage associations as someone that has significant assets, $1 million in assets or something like that, and is knowledgeable about the markets. It's not just a retail person who may lose the rent, as they say. But what is the family's? What is the Trump family actually doing here? What are they doing? It turns out nothing. Turns out nothing. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has publicly endorsed and associated itself with the project, taking an active role in its promotion. He's been involved in its announcement and has positioned himself at the forefront of it as the chief advocate for cryptocurrency through the project. Donald Trump Jr. And Eric Trump are playing active roles in it, indicating their involvement in marketing and perhaps broader strategy. They've encouraged people to join the whitelist. Baron Trump has been given titles within the project as well, being referred to as the DeFi visionary. Although because he's only 16 or 17, it's not really working out so well as actually having experience in it. But that doesn't matter for the Trumps, does it? Eric Trump's involvement seems to be less defined in the public domain, but includes promotional activities. The token sale went live just recently, had a rocky start because their website crashed. Sales falling short of the 300 million they wanted and only took in 9 million. Whoops. But here's the interesting point. Who is the World Liberty Foundation? World Liberty Coin is associated with World Liberty Financial. While the Trump family and his sons have been active in promoting it, their ownership, They have no ownership of their project at all. They're merely being paid in tokens. As they say, on the come, that something good's going to happen. The company is actually registered to Zach Folkman. Zach Folkman. This name, you're like, where have I heard that name, Pedro, before? Pedro, just ask me. Who exactly is Folkman? He is the founder of World Liberty Financial. His previous ventures were Doe Finance. Doe Finance. I almost featured them on an episode of Rugged, Ruined, and Wrecked here on the DYOR Media Network. But they were hacked, in which they lost about $2 million in assets. And one of those things that they're like, oh, we got hacked, so sorry. But people are like, wait, let's see a full rundown of that hack. Well, we got hacked. We're working through it. When everyone's like, they took the money and ran. But some of the other things that he's been involved in, where is it? Where is that? I can't believe I lost this in my notes. Oh yeah, here it is. Folkman's entrepreneurial spirit in finance also stretches into areas less conventional, for typical finance professionals. For instance, he was previously involved with a company named, now this is where you've probably heard the name before, everyone. His previous company was Date Hotter Girls, LLC, which seems to be unrelated to finance. This is the person Donald Trump is promoting to all the accredited investors and to hold their World Liberty token, of which I'm holding one right here, I might add. Actually, no, that's a single Canadian dollar. But what I do have, Mike, I don't know if you have them out there in Manitoba yet. I have the King Charles toonie. Toonie is a $2 coin for you non-Canadians. And you can see the picture. King Charles is now on the money here. But anyway, so what we're seeing here, in my mind, is evidence of what, Pedro? Right. Potential, we'll use the words pump and dump, bait and switch, scam, all that type of stuff.
Does Barron know that he is a part of this? Do the Trumps know that they are a part of this? Because I remember there were a few people who were literally like, oh, we've got, Joe Rogan and he's did it right. And they literally used AI to talk and communicate. And if you're really good at a sandbox and you can really copy paste and then place within your own AI system, you can create a picture of Barron Trump or Donald Trump simply saying, yeah, I support these guys. I mean, we see it all the time with
well, here's a good example is on the screen now is Donald Trump holding the coin.
Yes.
That I have right here.
Yeah.
See the resemblance between us?
Yes.
Huge.
It's huge.
Yeah, and I just made it on Grok. I just went to Grok, say, had a picture of Trump, yada, yada, yada. Came right up, boom, thumbnail, yada, yada. And, of course, now you can do that with video, too, and which now it's pretty good. And you're like 2 weeks ago, Pedro, it was like, it's all right. And then, only 2 weeks of iterations, and it's amazing. That means in another 2 weeks, we're going to just live in the Matrix. Sorry, everybody, I forgot to unmute Pedro while I was doing my World Liberty thing. But just to finish up this thing before we get to the gas station, guys.
Dumpster driver. So they didn't hear
Jerry,
any of the stuff that I said.
You might be a little behind, Jerry, if you can't still hear him.
What up, Jerry? Jerry's back. What's up, man?
But to sum it up here, this World Liberty coin, be careful if you get involved in that. I know right now you need to be an accredited investor, but as they get their go through their SEC registration, I'm sure they're going to open it up to everybody. And watch out because of all the projects that Mr. Trump has been involved in, they're all below value of what they said they were going to be or promised to be. Even as Truth Social and Donald Trump Media and stuff like that, which are still worth $2 billion. but they were valued at 10 billion, and the stock went way down, and all the initial investors got rugged. And now they're doing the gonna wait forever thing to see if it comes back. It was a great way. He took all your exit liquidity. That's basically what it does. All these projects, he takes your exit liquidity, or your money as his exit liquidity. This is NFTs. He did that, all that type of stuff. He's cashing out. He's making a lot of money. I'm sorry for you folks on Rumble may not agree with it. Fortunately, our Rumble crowd is small today. But that's what's going on. But it doesn't matter. He's making a lot of money selling knives and boots and shoes. And Mrs. Striking, didn't we see something else that he was selling? Yeah, there was some kind of wine too. Trump Chardonnay or something like that. Stocking stuffers. All right, Pedro. That's my talk about World Liberty Coin and Hot Babes. Date Hotter Women LLC is the man behind World Liberty. So it's good. It's good that it's an entrepreneur is out there, and somehow he was able to parlay Date Hotter Girls LLC into a relationship with the entire Trump family. So he's got to have some good sales ability there. Anyway. Crypto Mike says the Trump bear. Yes, I remember the Trump bear.
The Trump bear, dude.
And Griffin says, remember that huge announcement? It was like trading cards, NFTs. Yeah. And they promptly went, You
know, I think honestly in the future, I think that we very much will see those if he becomes president and he kills it, you know, and we see him.
Oh, imagine the value of all those card NFTs, like 20 or 30 or 40 years from now, when if someone can put together the whole collection of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, it would be...
They're going to laugh in all our faces. They're like, we have the... You know, it's like the quarters with the bicentennial quarters, you know?
Yeah.
I had all those things. Now, you know, the whole lot of them, if you have them, is worth like 60 or 80 grand. And I was like, you know, I ended up spending them on the newspaper.
Well, here's the thing that I think is really interesting is that as we're looking at the, you know, just from a nostalgic view, in 20 to 30 years, if things go well, if Trump is able to kind of rectify the border situation, rectify some of the insolvencies within the government, right, and really kind of bring in a lot more industry back into America where we can actually help pay off a lot of that debt. We'll see what happens, right? And it's a lot more complicated than how he makes it to be. But the man can cut a deal. So he might be able to. We'll see what's up. We don't know. But yeah, right. We'll see. But if he's able to do even a half of those things where he brings crypto back and pushes all this stuff, we're still going to see a lot more progression in the economy and a lot of stuff that I think within crypto which would set up for something that could be for his infinity cards or his teddy bear that could make it be very could be a very big deal. Could be very much a big deal.
You're right, it could.
You know, like I said, even half of them, it would be a big deal.
All right, these fellas at gas station something in you.
Yes. We'll check it out.
We'll just call it Bonner. It's not Bonner.
Well, guys, remember, because we are a family-friendly show here, we do talk, and we don't want to be disqualified by YouTube, because that does happen quite a bit.
Oh, I say much worse things, but it's just, if we say it too many times. Just say gas station. So it's GINU. GINU? I don't even know. Anyway, welcome everybody. Like, comment, share. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Bring your screen back up here, Pedro. GINU, Jason says. GINU. Although when Pedro gets to drawing on charts, he ends up inadvertently drawing things that are synonymous with the B word in your name. inadvertently, and usually it's Jesus that catches it, but he's not around today.
Yeah, dude, we haven't seen him in a couple days. He's
Jason says they have a version 2 and a version 3. So the version 3 just started recently. They migrated from 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So if you see two of the contracts up there, that's what they are.
Okay, cool. Then we'll pull it up here then. Why is that happening? Here we are.
While Pedro's doing that, I'm going to make another sponsor pitch, and that's for ourselves. If you go to our website, DYORnetwork.media, there is a partnership page there. In that partnership page is where we talk about all the good things in life, otherwise known as Pedro and I. Let's see, did bring us up here? Yeah, there we go. Our page here, I list all our shows, list our show schedule, and it even has us here. Look at that, we're on the infinite screen here because we broadcast our show on our website. Also has a list of all of our shows: DYOR Live, the Crypto Swamp Creature Show, Carmen's Crypto Chit Chats, Rugged, Ruined, and Wrecked, which has had 3 successful series of its award-winning show, or I should say seasons. I've been saying I'm going to do season 4 now for a year. DYOR Now, which is all about short-form videos that are informational, mostly me ranting about projects I hate, like bricks. Full Rant Fridays. That's when Pedro and I do an X Spaces on Friday. And then the Space Lounge AMAs, which we do AMAs for projects that we used to have another guy that helped us out with that. And he's gone missing, so we really haven't done many of those in a while. But Carmen and I are always planning on doing another one when we want to see a good project come through. But more importantly, on this page is to sponsor our show and hire our personalities. If you want to get your brand to the right audience or get the right speaker for your community, hire us. Pedro and I are guns for hire here. If you want product placements, segment sponsors, technology sponsors, we need product placements in our show. We need segment sponsors. We need technology sponsors. Running all this stuff is hard on your equipment.
Yeah.
And trade show partners. If you want to help get your name and your word out there, let us know. As I say, engage our personalities. As a case study in which our sponsor AutoChain hired me to run and produce their podcasts. This other project here, Champion, hired us to produce their events. And one of the rare things that our faces are not on. And then also we host your live events. Here is a picture of Pedro and I at the Blockchain Futurist Convention in Toronto, in which we are the commentators du jour for the event, covering it ourselves, but also taking over the mic for the Blockchain Futurist Convention's live stream in between speeches. So if you need someone like us, get over to DYORnetwork.media. Yes, Ken, male performance sponsors. And it looks like we're going to have to come to the GINU room to get some help there with that. You guys are good.
Sponsors. That's funny. That is good. That is real funny.
Just say GINU, just like that. That's what I got here. High on testosterone and car culture.
I love it. Hey, also do us a favor, hit that like button with all you guys sitting there. I see we have quite a few people here, so please hit that like button. That does help. And thank you for the interaction. We always appreciate, especially Ken Griffin. I just love the name. I've got a heart for Ken. So
after he abandoned Chicago, that jerk. I'm currently in Ottawa, but I'm based in Chicago when I'm in the United States. And I've lived there since the early 90s, or it was based there. I should say I've lived all over, and watched Citadel grow up there. Then he left. Then he left and went to Miami. Yes, too cold, and too woke. What happened is it got too woke, and they left for Miami because of it. Too woke, which also means too progressive, and they kept on the progressive elections, and those mayors and people just wanted to keep raising taxes. And they said, we're going to tax your billions of dollars in hedge funds need to be taxed just to run the city. He's like, nope, I'm leaving, and I can do that. And they did. The city was like, instead of earning money from taxes. They lost 1,000 jobs, I think, payroll taxes and everything.
It was pretty bad.
They said, we're just moving the headquarters. Still big trading operation going on, but as those people quit or retire, the jobs being reinstated in Florida. Low tax or no tax? All right, what do you got there for us, Pedro?
Yeah, so we've got a GINU, and this is their this is the version 3. And so from a technical standpoint, there's really nothing that's stopping them. But the only thing that we could sit there see, I mean, from a liquidity standpoint, market cap standpoint, we're watching this market kind of push up here. There's no really real support below it as well. So it's kind of in this nomad's land here. I'm going to draw this out here real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Jeff or Ken or somebody, if you could do us a favor and send us the version 2 contract. Pedro is well known for struggling with the deck screener here, finding the right ones. And mostly it's because he doesn't like to wear his glasses on camera.
Okay, fine. What's wrong with that? Right?
It's the same. How can it be the same contract address?
It is. Look, it's right here. I just did it. So I saw it as well. So look, you can see one right here and one right here. So here's the version 2 then. V2, V3. Boom. Here we go. Here we go. So big sell off. You saw this right here. Okay, not bad. All right, I like this actually better. So
how old is version 2? Wait a minute, I'm confused. Did you migrate from version 2 to version 3, or do the two exist at the same time?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Both are live, same time. Oh, you're confusing us.
Okay, that doesn't make sense at all. You're gonna have to explain.
Oh, it's just the LP. You're talking. Sorry, most of the time when you're talking the liquidity pools. I got you. I'm sorry. Most of the time when people on this show come in and say there was a version 2 and a version 3, they meant they might close the one contract, opened a new contract, and migrated the tokens from the other. You're talking about liquidity pools. So like on QuickSwap or SushiSwap or Uniswap, they, version 2, version 3. I get it. Sorry, I'm all confused. So they'll have a market cap, but then they'll have liquidity in both pools, which makes sense. And then you can get the best trade when you use Uniswap's, give me the best trade feature. And then the ARB bot goes back and forth and increases the volume by having lots of little trades to iron it out. Works well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are the deets here? What's the market cap? What's the liquidity?
So on the liquidity here, they have 41,000, and their market cap is sitting at about 200,000. The other one is sitting at. Here we go. The other one is sitting at 202,000. So you have 199 and $200,000 market cap. We are seeing increase in volume, which is nice. So that in itself is a good sign, potentially, right? I'm gonna have to sit there and do this copy. I'm gonna do 2 here so I can see it.
You notice I do have the full name scrolling in the graphics over here.
Yes.
Just capture that.
Yeah, somebody is cracking up over here. Dude, you got that like that little kid, like
exactly.
Like it's so funny. It's so funny. Here we go, real quick.
AI Wolf, I just dropped that screenshot I just took in. Oh, the screenshot. Don't use that one. Got Pedro's window in it.
Yes. So there you go.
love it. All right, AI Wolf. Now I'm gonna drop this screenshot. I drop it in their Telegram for them. Got the name on it and everything. This gas station boner.
So
here we have this big serious topic about World Liberty Coin. We talk about the Republican politics and Trump. We talk about Democrat politics and Kamala, and then we have the best time with GINU.
GINU comes in to save the day. Coming in to save the day. Keeping this fun, keeping this lively. All right, so we're a mess, but we're having fun here, so that's cool. So the fact is this: look, you guys have been around for about a month now, and
totally missed Carmen Crypto here. Sorry, Carmen. I tuned into that event earlier and it was okay. I'll tune into it later. But thanks for joining us, Carmen Crypto.
Absolutely, guys. Also, if you guys aren't aware, she's putting on a crypto event. It's pretty awesome. Go check it out. It will enlighten you and teach you, and you'll see a lot of cool, dope stuff out there. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's jump back here because I think it's super important. When we're looking at this market here, though, now this gives me more data here, so I'll be able to play off of this.
This is the screen for Carmen Crypto for the culture. Just Google that. You'll find it.
Yeah, and
the webinar going on right now.
And it's free, correct?
Free.
Yeah, it's free.
All about crypto.
All about crypto. And Carmen puts on such amazing stuff. I mean, it's packed.
She's helping behind the scenes in this one. It's a group that talking about, one of the ones I paid attention to is how to get a job in Web3. It's pretty interesting.
Real nice.
All right. Troublesome says, this one time at band camp, I shoved a boop in my boop. Troublesome, when I first saw that, I saw it in a theater. I think I laughed just like I did for this thing. It was so funny when you're sprung with that line.
Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. It was one of those moments that you're like, ooh, okay, sure. All right, that just happened. You're like, what do we say about that? All right, guys, so let's check this out here. So we've got a couple places that I do like this coin. It is starting to show some strength here. The only issue is you have this huge sell-off, and you have a lot of people buying here. So up for the last, when it first started, up to the last maybe 2 weeks, we've seen this thing do really well, at least volume-wise. So we had a huge sell-off. I want to know what happened with this sell-off. Is this just people taking profit from the lows here? And then just people are just cheaters. And then in additionally to that, I'm really not seeing any price drops. Like I want to see something like this where I see a sell-off and then a buyback. So the last recent rally here, I see very small amount of volume. And then in additionally to that, not a lot of support as it starts to sell off, except for the 8 and the 20. So for me, if I was going to get in on it, right, like it'd be a different story if I started seeing something like this, right? You see how these days you have the sell off and you push back, a sell off, push up, you had to push down, and you see all these. I like that, but this rally here does not look like that. And you can see, this is a good example of it, that this area right here, right, this area where there was no demand wick, we see that we retraced it. No demand wick, we retraced to where there was none. So personally, when I'm looking at this should, to me, this explains that we should see it pull back into this area here first, get buyers, so that I can expect to see this go up higher into that 0003 or 3172 area is what I'm looking at. You could see another rally, but where are you going to get your buyers at, right? Where are people stepping in to get in to see this thing get level? What are your guys' plans on advertising? How are you guys advertising this project to really propel this? I'm just curious.
Right here.
Right here. Here we go.
Boy, the way you have the chart now looks like, hey, yay, ooh, I'm done. Get what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The gas station, boom, and then 7 minutes later,
push
boop,
up, drop.
done.
Yeah. Well, if that's your extent, you're
I'm claiming I'm just claiming the male average there. what it is. Scientific study done by my engineer one day in Amsterdam. Him and I've probably told you the story, but I'm going to tell all you guys at the gas station project. I was in Amsterdam with an engineer that used to work for me, like mechanical engineer, helped design cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're having beers in Amsterdam along one of the canals, and across the canal there's a bunch of the red light doors, this kind of stuff. And I see him taking notes. On a little book, much like my great book of rug pulls here.
Yep.
And after a while, after a pint or two, I'm like, his name's Doug. I'm like, Doug, what are you doing? He said, oh, I'm just doing a little reconnaissance here and research. And what he'd been doing is we'd been watching people go up to the door in Amsterdam and they talk to the girl, go in, and then come out. And on average, the time from going in the door to coming out is 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
That's the average. The fastest was 5, and the longest was 8. They get them in, they get them out.
And this is the red light district in Amsterdam.
Yeah. Yep. And it's not just like a seedy, street or anything. They, they're in all different places. I mean, they're concentrated in one area, but they're also, along the canals, and so your bars and restaurants across from them. Mm-hmm. He had a list of like 30 or 40, dudes going in.
Johns.
The best were like groups of guys in which they're mostly British, I might add, drunken British guys, egging their one guy to go in, and then the guy will be out in 5 minutes, and they're like, "Whoa, you're out already?"
Oh, just getting ripped.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me! But then Doug would look at his thing and goes, "Nope, it's about average."
Dude, this stuff that happens, bro, with dudes, like we're just like, it's interesting. I was doing a little bit of research on the idea of males and our ability to be able to just like focus during the it takes active strength. I mean, active mindset and focus to sit there and say no. Right? Like if you think about it, like you've got to think about other things, whereas women have to think about it to orgasm, right? Whereas us, we have to think about something else. So
how many count is this stitching? Looks like 200 count sheets.
Right? like exactly. It's
how the football game's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've got all of our area pointed in one point. Whereas women got that, all over those areas. And so the reality is they've got to get all these other areas to focus on one thing. So it's just, I think it's unfair for us as men, because it's like we've got 2 points. They've got like 7 points. And it's like, how do we deal with that?
We got to keep track of everything.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Real interesting.
Jeff says that drop was some too early wallets getting out.
Getting out. That's it. Mark Twain talks about this, basically saying women should have harems of men. Yes, I think that's a very, very dude. Like, somebody who's
make life much simpler for us guys. Just be on call. Okay.
I'll be over there. Coming over. I got you. But it's totally different for women, right? Like men, we don't excrete oxytocin during during copulation, but whereas with women they do. Typically it's released for them. So there's that bonding agent for a female versus a male. We don't. We actually have to actively decide to release the oxytocin. I know it sounds all weird. I studied connection and human connection and sales, and I've done sales, and so I know one of the best ways to get a sale is to release oxytocin in a person. And so one of the things is men and women release if you look somebody in the eye and connect with them and stuff like that. But get the close, a guy, it's done different than a female with a female close. And I just think it's so interesting how this whole entire thing. Why are we talking about this, dude?
I don't know why you're going on.
Why
with
are we
that.
just
No
nah?
idea.
I don't share.
No idea. Well, I was waiting for you to tell me which way Boner Inu is going to go here.
All right, let's just jump back to your Boner Inu. All right, so with Boner Inu, look, it's pushing up. You guys need some real volume stepping in to push us back up here. So you had a bunch of people selling. You had your 5 minutes of glory, and you guys are kind of popping down. So we need to see. Now, the good thing behind it is that we are above the 8-period and the 20-period moving average, which is a good sign, saying it potentially could be pushing up even more. The bad side I don't like about it is that I just don't see any more volume. Like you guys, it would have been a different story if I started seeing the same amount of volume
right
at these levels here, right? But the fact that I'm not seeing new buyers step in and new people coming in, it's one of those things I'm like, I don't know about that. So,
but the good thing here is one of the things I talk about a lot, Pedro, is the importance of a green chart. And you can do all of the promotion you want. You can give supply to guy like Jeff said, we're not giving away supply to influencers and things like that, which is a good plan. Because none of them do you right unless you're there for the quick G. But I always say your only marketing tool that our limited brains in crypto pays attention to is green candles.
Yes,
that's it. You can have the best plan, the best devs, all this great stuff. We're developing this. Devs are working so hard. Oh, it's going to be great. But if the chart's red, forget it. And I don't mean red like this. I mean just down, down, down. And even when they're doing their promotions, it's still down. You have to have green. And so a lot of times the best thing to do is for the team and some insiders is to say, hey, between the 20 of us, let's spend $10,000. Let's spend $500 and slowly buy to get that green candles over time. It's your best marketing tool ever. Didn't need to give away anything either. And of course, keep a little in reserve to keep Mr. Jeet away or to rebuild after that. The best thing you can do is a green candle, in a long series of them. So if the volume isn't there right now, so long as it's slowly going up, it means the team is watching it. The insiders are buying it up a little bit. But as we know, Pedro, you got to reach that spot where you don't rely on the insiders anymore. You need those outside people coming in. But they only do that if you've put in the time to green candle it.
Yeah.
And without the influencer selling it, all of a sudden 1% of your supply disappears.
Right.
And then you're in the red, and people look at it and go, "That's in the red. I'm going to wait for it to consolidate for 6 years." And then you're like, "Well, I don't want to wait 6 years."
Right. I mean, the greatest comeback story out of all of those situations would be a Dogecoin, right? Right, came out of nowhere and I think it was around for 8 years prior to it even got going, right? So it's when I started cracking up too, because I was like, they were catching it. I was like, Bunner, and you.
Hey, if you guys want to come on the show on camera, just let us know and we'll talk about your project.
Yeah, we'll have fun with it.
Just for the YouTube algorithm thing that is a pain. We've been featuring this project because our community brought them to us.
Yes, make sure you understand. Make sure you say that.
Community members raid us, tell us all about a project. We feature them because in exchange for giving us viewers, we'll talk about their project. There's no money involved. There's no sponsorship. No one paid us to say anything about them.
Yep.
Pedro gives his honest opinion about the chart. And a lot of times, like the other day, we had GameStop bets on. And they did not like your review of the chart. No. Pedro said, it's coming right down to this level. And they're like, no, we're maintaining a floor. It's going to only go up. And Pinto, God love his soul, hardworking soul, says like, no, it can only go up from here because I'm maintaining the floor and making sure it works.
Ooh,
sure as shit. The next day it came down. And it did exactly what Pedro said it was going to do. We were talking about it up here. This is GameStop bets.
Yeah, I have it on I actually have it on the dude, look.
But we were talking about it up here. Yeah. I keep moving things around.
It was here.
And Pedro says, no, it's going to come down right to here in this green box here. And then it's either going to, if buyers step in, it will bounce and do its thing, or it'll go to the next level, which is all the way down here. And they're like, no, this is our project. We're not letting it do that. It's not going to do that. Sure as shit, the next day. 2 days later. goes down to it.
was
So it's an honest review of projects. But if you do an honest review, it doesn't always need to go up. Remember, projects come down for various reasons. You just got to learn where the orders are, where your liquidity is, where your collective audience, your hive, wants to buy again. And Pedro said, well, if GameStop bets, it's going to be right there. And it was. And that's not because of any Head and Shoulders pattern or Bart Simpson or Ghibli Wibblies or Kabloobloobloobloo lines. It's because you look at where the money is.
Yeah. Well, where people came in with the money, right? And typically they will defend their position with that money area. So let's say, i.e., I get in right here. It was going up, going up, and then it comes back down typically. And around that level is where people will sit there and go, oh, this is a great deal. Then from there, it will shoot up, come back down, most likely. As it comes back down, people go, well, I sold some up here. I want to buy more here now because I can buy more. And so typically that's what happens, right? And then from there, it starts to move. Liberty dibbly. I was just thinking, it's my mind, dude. It's kind of weird how my brain will be thinking about this, but then something weird will pop in, like the liberty dibbity.
Well, you listen to some of these guys.
Yeah.
Some of these guys talk, these trader guys, and God rest their souls, they're doing it for a living, so they obviously do something right. But they've been on like a 24-hour live stream, or they've been sitting in their mom's basement for so long and drinking. They're on their 59th Pepsi and whatever else. And you're listening to him, you're like, I don't know what the hell he just said. It's like, oh, we got to watch the zibbly lines and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, what?
Yeah, you got to, You just need to be able to, the thing is, once you're a trader for life. I mean, it's how your mind works. It almost gets rewired in a sense where you go, okay, potential bad, potential good. And what are what's really bad, what's really good. And then what would be the average of that? And then that there's a shade of gray in between all of that, right? It can go to bad, it can go to good, and then it can go to, so you're always looking at this, okay, where we're at. And so you have to make new words in a sense, right, for that, in a sense.
Well, the word that GameStop bet used was bounce. Bounce right there. AI Wolf, I sent you a message, a DM about Meme Coin Monday for these guys.
They've got to get through that.
Alpha asks, what's an honest opinion and me taking it slow with the token and building it slowly? That I'm not sure about your question there, but my honest opinion is what I just said. Slow green so that when new people come, they see green. I've sent a number of people to Futoki, and they're like, oh, it's nothing but up. And they've come back to me and said, yeah, I put $10 in, something like that. Mm-hmm. Because it's going green. And sure, some people have sold, but generally it's green. It's going up. It's not going down. And so the trick is to make the market yourself. Obviously you can't hire these guys to pump and dump it because we just did a great show about all of them going to go to the joint. But if you're buying it yourself, and in fact, if you let people know, say, yeah, I'm buying and selling this to help make the market. It's perfectly legal because you've disclosed it. And there's green. No problem. Take your profits from somewhere else instead of saying, "Ooh, I'm going to put $1,000 into my own token." Put $5 a day, $10 a day, or when someone sells, $100, put $105 into it. So it still looks like it's going up. What you got there, Pedro?
This is SPX 69,000. So
is this still rocking?
Yeah, it came back down to the area that we expected. And now it's starting to push up. So this is the daily chart here. It came down to this area.
Boris Johnson, Tom Oliver says, like Infineon. Infineon pre-sale is up to $280,000 now. Something like that. Ken Griffin says, always appreciate the input. We all. I gave the obvious answer. There was no wizardry on my part. Green candles good. Red candles bad.
but I just think there's a lot of different types of markets out there. And one thing I do love about the crypto market is that it plays a good system, right? Like that's one thing I do like about it, is that I can see what's actually happening in it. And I think that's what is helpful for me, right? Is when I'm looking at that, I can sit there and say, okay, this is what's actually happening. Let's play off of this. So it's been really interesting as we move forward. Also on the back end, as I'm looking at this market at large for GINU, I was just thinking about this. If you guys really start coming in with big volume here on the new version, or not the new version, but the version 2, somebody could sit there, if they come across this, that could pump your LP, pushing it even harder. So if you guys would get that name out there, you know, you guys are sitting at that 20 or 40 or 3020 area, 2022. If you
Obviously, they got to put signs up at truck stops, right?
Yeah. It's just
And
really,
our partner token, Lot Lizard.
yeah, absolutely. So what are your what's the next thing that we need to do here?
We should go over GOAT.
Yes, I was just thinking about that. All right,
Have you guys heard of GOAT? I didn't. It's another one that I just blew it.
Did you send that to me last night? Where's it at?
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, you sent it to me right here.
Solana-based GOAT token. Goatsis Maximus.
That's what it was, Goatsis.
SEUS.
There it is.
GOAT.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom, look at these guys, dude. Like, you guys want to see, like if you look at the smaller time frames, okay, on a intraday time frame, this is super important, right? And when I'm looking at a chart, this is what I'm looking for. All right,
I need to join your guys' Telegram. Sorry, Pedro.
It's all
Lot
good.
Lizard is one of our songs on GINU Spotify.
Lot Lizard is one
AI
of
Alpha,
my
well,
songs.
send me these guys, TG, please, for the love of God. I need more entertainment.
That's awesome.
Anyway, just Pedro's talking about. Let me give the story here. This token. Oh, why didn't it update? It's not gas station. The chart is not right. Goatsis Maximus, GOAT, is a token created by AI. And the guys that created it said, what do we need? What do we need to make this run? And it came back and said, this is what you need to do. And it said you needed $50,000 initial LP pool to start it. And they got Mark Andreessen of, inventing the internet fame, inventing the web browser, fame, to donate 50 grand and put it in their LP. And that was a couple of days ago. Pedro, what is the LP now?
The LP right now is
And
liquidity pool. Liquidity is 5.5 mil, and this is what is blowing me away, right? Market cap is $250,000, or excuse me, $250 million. $258
AI
mil.
Created this token and told them how to market it. And to do a number of things. And the article here is on Bitcoin news.com or bitcoin.com news. I'm going to drop it in our TG room. If you guys aren't members of the TG room, just go to Telegram and search for DYOR Media, Striking's Crypto Smackdown. You'll see me behind a green screen. There is a fake one out there, so we don't have any token migrations or any bullshit. You'll know the right one.
There's no.
I just posted the link to the article, so if you want to join and read about it, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And Pedro, the chart, because of the way that the chart looks, doesn't look that spectacular. It looks great, but when you count the X's, it's more than 1,000X.
Yeah.
From launch. Now, obviously, everyone doesn't get the launch price.
But even the retracement, if you would, this full 7 days, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
right, Ken.
8, 9,
and you're thinking about your little project here, and these guys went right to the moon with AI. And of course, one of the most famous guys in all of tech, putting some money into it too. Let's not discount.
Yeah, I was going
the
to say
celebrity influence in a project.
Yeah, that was huge.
But the money being traded is unreal in it. I mean, what's the 24-hour volume, Pedro?
The 24-hour volume is literally $62 million. We saw it up to what was it? Almost it was 75 mil last night. And I was looking at
something
it.
Absolutely crazy.
I was like, wow, like $75 million. You're talking, you could trade this, like, and if there's no tax to this,
there's all of a sudden, tax.
And now you're able to swing real money through this, real money, right? Get in right here, and you could wash real money through this, real easy. If you're a washer, this is how you would wash money, right? So, like, it's just one of those things. Then from there, you could bring it in and be able to do what you need to do. But I just found this real interesting as we're playing here, what's actually happening here with this goat see us.
Welcome to our Rumble viewers. Thanks for joining us over on Rumble. We had a low count at the beginning of the show, but I pinged Rumble on X and said, hey, you're not featuring us on the crypto main screen. And lo and behold, 10 minutes later, we're on the crypto main screen, and now we've had up to 11 people at once here watching. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on Rumble. Absolutely. We're an interactive show here.
Please.
Use the comment screen. You got to log into Rumble. Many of you don't have accounts, just watch. Log into Rumble and comment, ask questions. We're here to answer questions for you. All about crypto. Or life in general. Or how Donald Trump good, Kamala Harris bad. Because that's just, your thing. Which we started out today that way, talking about World Liberty Coin, about the Trump family's involvement in it,
right?
And all about that, because we've been talking. Pedro and I have been talking about the difference between the two parties in the way they support crypto. Obviously, we support a party or support a candidate that supports crypto, our livelihood, and so you know where that's going to go without us having to tell you any more about that. But thanks for joining us, you guys. We really appreciate it
so much.
We want to get more of you over there. We want to be like the Crowder show. He had 1 million people watching the other day.
He's a crypto guy?
We've got 10. No, he's a podcast guy. Oh. Yeah, if you've never watched Crowder, he's fantastic.
Really? Okay, I need to go check him out.
He just puts down the woke people. He's like, no, we're not doing it. No, that's ridiculous. Oh.
Well, I think, and again, I'm not for the wokeism crazy, and like the religion, right? But there are some good points to that view, right? So I don't want to like get the hate on me, right? Like of looking out for the minority in the aspect of like I'm not
talking about having weird people dress funny and forcing me to call them some strange names. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so fair. I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure, like, because there's times where like some people say, like and I call it wokeism because it's almost a religion, right? Like people are, they die by this, right? And you're just like, dude, you're willing to lay the line on this for this, and I don't think it's not worth it.
Well, anytime it's like the Reformation of the Church or the Spanish Inquisition. Once it turns on itself and eats itself, that's a problem. And then that's what wokeism is doing. They're intentionally discriminating against themselves to better someone else, or to validate new ideas that they've just dreamt up. Yeah. Which nobody needed to validate them. They can just do whatever they want.
They could have just done it. They didn't have to be all stupid and crazy.
Right. Like, they can just do it. You want to dress like however, I'm not even going to mention certain things. You want to do it. It's the US, whatever.
Yep.
But to force me to say that it's
good.
Correct. And it's good. And or perhaps cancel us if we don't say that.
Don't. Yep.
That, as far as I'm concerned, that's what's called a civil tort. In which you're interfering in my ability to conduct my financial life. And if you interfere in that, you can be held or civilly liable. And
They have not.
That's a week's worth of discussion just for Rumble. But thank you to our viewers from Rumble. As you can see where we stand here, you're looking at still the SPX 2000 here. Or no, it's Goats Maximus.
Yeah, this is Goats Maximus.
1000x if you invested $1,000 in it, you'd have $1 million. Wait, is that right?
Yes. No, you would have a lot more. It would no, not a lot more.
No.
It'd be around that.
Yeah, if it's 10x, it'd be 10,000. 100x would be 100,000. 1000x.
Yeah. Real quick, just so you guys know, over at Rumble, please hit that like and sub. We're trying to build our following, and we've got 7 new guys, which we really do appreciate immensely. Please hit that sub and like. We go on every 4 days, or not every 4, excuse me, every day for about 4 days, Monday through Thursday, and then I run a X space called Rant Free or Full Rant Fridays or Full Crypto.
Pedro can never remember the name.
Whatever this freaking thing is. Yeah, I don't even know the name of my show. It shows you whatever. But the reason why I say this is literally because I have you guys come on. We're just rant about the things that frustrate you about crypto and what's actually happening. And you can come out and voice and even get Gainer. Do a Gainer. Boom. I did a Gainer off the Polar Star. While we were in the X of the world. Anyways, it doesn't matter about that. The reason why I'm bringing this up is this. You guys come over. You guys are able to talk and garner even support with people who you're just trying to, rant. And there's nothing like misery when everybody joins together and joy. Anyhow, jumping back to these guys here. I want to talk about this because, people ask, well, what's a good chart? How should you look at a chart? How do you know if it's doing well?
Hold on, Pedro. Quickly, Alpha Wolf, I don't know what you mean. Send you the link in the TG. Ask me directly in TG what you want. Sorry about that.
So most charts will follow some type of trending, typically 5 or 15 minutes. That's why you see this. And when you start to see a trending market follow a particular moving average, and then the see it just keep following it, right? Which is right now, this is the 15-minute 8-period moving average. You can see every time it follows it and starts to bounce off it, it starts to put in a trend. And so that's a huge thing to be able to sit there and say, how is my chart doing? What is it following? If on the entry time frames you're seeing it follow the 8-period moving average, either on the 5 or 15, it's a good indication that that's a good chart, because you can gainer, or you can see if it's trending, so you can trade it. And once it breaks a certain whatever trending mechanism you use, right, on smaller time frames, then you can capture that push up and push down in these small little movements. And so I always tell everybody, find a trending mechanism indicator that you use on trading and go back to see on a chart, is that chart trending in a certain way? Or is that chart pushing in a way that is like it's too volatile and you can't really get movement in it, right? Like you just don't know where it's heading. And so that's what I'm always looking for. So let's bring up Garcia. These guys have been following this, and you can see it. Like this is a good thing. Every time it starts to follow, right? Boom, you can see it follows it. Breaks it, follows it. You can play on that 30-minute, right? The 30 minutes also looks hot, right? Look at the 30, boom, boom, plays off of it. So it's one of those things that you can play off of this and really, I would say the 2 hour is one of the primary 8s. You can sit there and play off of it, right? They see the 2 hour, it plays off, it comes back down, closes, and then finds support again, right? So it's one of those things that you can sit there and look to see. Once we start to see the crossovers here of that 8 and 20 period moving average to the downside, then expect to see us then, come back, consolidate, pull back to an area of buyers. Right now I have a buyer area right here at this level. And then I have another level if it is going to pull back, because I think there's investors in this. I don't think Andrews will allow this coin to go to zero, right? Because if this thing goes to zero, it makes him look really, really bad. So
I think
with
that kind of volume going through it, he could have been out of his. He probably put in 50 and probably took out a couple hundred.
Yeah, with the amount of money that was coming in.
I mean, think of that. I can't. You know what? I'm gonna try to think about that for a second because it's amazing. He put 50 grand in, so it 1000x's. So, and I'm guessing he put some in the LP to fund it, and some probably bought some tokens or something like that. But there's no massive buys at the beginning, like someone just dropped 50 grand.
Yeah.
So the LP is going to be worth a huge amount more. He owns a big percentage of it. All that trading generates LP tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets a percentage, the fees that from it. Wait, if there's no taxes, there's no LP tokens being generated, but he earns the fees from the liquidity pools providers. He earns his 1% or whatever on every trade, or 0.01, whatever it is. And I'm sure he's pulled a couple of million out of that. I mean, that's how you get rich, right? You start rich and then you get rich.
You get richer. Or you make sure that you find a good deal that something is sitting at, and then you hold on to it, i.e. Bitcoin or whatever it would be. Or you take some money, you take a loan on it, and you put it into things that would make you money. But jumping back to these levels here, as we're looking at GoatSum, I would expect to see this thing come back down to the 16 cent, 13 cent area here, and potentially coming back down to the 6 area. On that daily chart right here, you have that 8-period moving average that has just finally come on today. So 1, 2, let's have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I want to make sure we could see this thing. It's starting to put down. So this is where I think we could see a pullback too, and then see it push back up. So small little areas of work to get in.
What price range is that?
That is 16.45 to 16 cents, 16 cents 45 to 06 cents. Excuse me, my eyes jumped. Just freaking
getting old is tough. Soon he's be getting those depends.
Get out of here with that mess. Nobody want to hear that. So that's that 1645 area to the 1337 area. And then right below that, we have the 8-period moving average in at the 12 cents. So this is, if we're going to see a pullback, that's going to about to be a 50% pullback as well. So it's one of those things that I would sit there and go, you know what, we very much could see this thing come back. Come on. Pull back to at least 50% or a retrace. And I very rarely use Fibonacci retracement, but in this circumstance, I want to be able to set up, because this is being so traded like institutions, you could play off of this just a little. So I expect to at least see a pullback of 0.618 area, or excuse me, 61. I pull back to the 6.1 area, or just this area that I have right here, which is the 16 cent, 13 cent area. So many of the guys who know like pullbacks, this is a pretty deep retracement. Even a deeper retracement would be the 0.70 or the 78 retracement down into this lower levels. But yeah, I think it's something that we could play off of and be able to take a profit here by pushing it up. Anyhow, so that's it in a nutshell, my friend. Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to everyone that joined us today from GINU, GINU, GNU, bathroom, gas station thing. But hit me up in the TG, guys. I sent either join our room,
Striking,
come join the room. DYOR Media, and get in touch with me, or I sent my thing to Alpha Wolf. He'll get it to you, and maybe we can have you on the show for a few minutes on Meme Coin Monday.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I think you guys would be great.
Or Technical Tuesday, or something like that.
Definitely. Dude, it's like, jumping back to, I want to just real quick also talk, I forgot to mention this point with World Liberty Financial. I know we're closing everything off, but I was really concerned, and we never finished this thought process real quick, is I just wonder if the Trump family really knows that they're involved in this, as the crypto community think that
Trump has mouthed it. he's blah blah blah. He's introduced his sons with it too and stuff like that. He's talked about it. He says my kids are, they're wizards in crypto. Their project's gonna be huge.
Huge. All right, so that is legit. So that really did. So that's a real thing. Okay.
Oh, I just think I just hit the wrong button here. Oh yeah, it's full on. We got the full Pedro here, ladies and gentlemen. Is that a painting behind you, or I mean, not a painting behind you, but is it a artwork of a painting, or is it just some random virtual background thing?
It is a AI background that I actually had created. I was actually messing with it, and I was asking it to do.
It's cool.
Yeah, I love it, and so it'll go with anything that I wear. It will, like literally,
even the ugly Christmas sweater.
It was funny. I actually created it. I'll get a little personal here real quick. I fell in love with somebody, and long story short, was just creating artwork for that individual, and so I sent her one of these things, and not that, but when I sent it, I was like, this is a dope picture though. I like this, and I was messing with AI for it. And then so I just liked it so much because it's actually two people looking at each other, looking away from, like they're looking in the same direction type of thing. And I just thought it was just so dope how the AI created this. And I was like, dude, that's just cool. So that's why I had it. And then I thought it's great for like the Halloween look. You can see like,
oh yeah, now I see the face and all that.
Yeah, and then the other one is right here. You can see it too as well behind it. So I just think it's cool. I thought it was really dope, and I was impressed by it. So
it's AI Alpha Wolf says, you said depends. Yes, I did.
Depends. So anyhow, enough about me. Got a little too personal there. Alrighty.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for the great show. Jack Crypto says, just joined your TG and at you. All right, thank you very much.
Glad to have you.
We do a show on Mondays called Meme Coin Monday, in which we go over projects and have fun with them. We do it on Mondays because it's just good alliteration for Meme Coin Monday. And mostly Pedro goes over the top cryptos in the meme coin categories on CoinMarketCap. But we talk about all of it, anything else, talk smack too. It's a lot of fun. So join us. I'll get in touch with you guys soon to talk about that, because then we can make sure we social media it. And also, guys, don't be afraid to, if one of you guys is a video wizard, to clip out or use one clips or whatever it is, to take what we did and talk about you in social media today. We don't mind you doing that, as long as you tell us. Go watch Tom and Pedro. Yeah, Alpha Wolf says, see you tomorrow, Pedro, on the X Spaces. Don't forget, the doctor has bills to pay. Come in for a visit once in a while. I will. I'll come spend some time over in the Futoki Lounge.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a good show. Thank you guys very much.
12:30.
Who's getting the last comment today, Lit? I think it's Jock Crypto is getting it.
Come 12:30,
love the art,
guys.
Pedro.
Yeah, 12:30. 12:30 is going to be the
you got to go out with that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your day. If I don't see you for the weekend, enjoy your good weekend. Full rant tomorrow. X Spaces. Pay attention to our social medias. So be there.
12:30.